Pro Tem Michael Barnes has called a special meeting of the Charlotte City Council for Monday, March 31st, 6 p.m. in the council chambers here in Government Center. So let me make a brief statement to you, and then I'll be happy to respond to a few questions. So yesterday, then Mayor Cannon submitted his resignation to the city attorney and me. This event does not affect how the city of Charlotte operates on a day-to-day basis. Charlotte is led under the council manager form of government, which means that the city manager, my responsibility, oversees the city's operation, while the city council provides policy, direction, and oversight. Charlotte is more than one man. Yesterday, the utility department treated 91 million gallons of drinking water, performed over 600 service account orders. Today, the solid waste department collected on 60 routes, serving 38,000 households. Through 11 a.m. this morning, 311 had answered over 1,200 calls within 1 second. We have a city government staffed by professionals who are dedicated to serving the people of Charlotte. They did not come to work for this city to work for a mayor. They came to work for this city to work for the people of the city. They do that with honesty and integrity every single day. Earlier this afternoon, I spoke to the employees by video link. We'll make available to you if you're interested. And I told them that the leaders and the residents of this community expect them to provide exceptional professional service with honesty and integrity every day, and affirm to them something I know so well, that they and I expect no less of ourselves. We are committed to honest government. We know that some city departments were mentioned in the complaint, but we cannot comment on anything that would interfere with the federal investigation. And I know that's a little bit frustrating to you, but I've been in communication multiple times with senior federal investigators, and they have asked that we not do anything to jeopardize their investigation, as we have pledged to fully cooperate. If there are any questionable activities anywhere in this government, we want them uncovered. I don't expect that there are, but I can't say that definitively. And so if there's a problem somewhere, we're going to work with the federal investigators so we can identify it and deal with it. Because as I said, the employees of this city are committed to honest and professional services. We will continue, as I said, to cooperate in every way, providing the documents, answer any questions the investigators ask. And what I want to be really clear, and we've heard this from other people in the community, the accusations in yesterday's warrant do not portray the way the city of Charlotte works. If in any way that were the case, I certainly would not have come to work for this city a year ago. But what I have found in the past year, serving as this city's manager, coming from the outside, this is a city that is committed to doing things right. That has been its reputation, and we will do everything we have to do, working with the council, working with the community, to continue to preserve and protect the outstanding reputation of Charlotte as one of the best places anywhere to live and to work and to have fun. I am deeply grateful for our employees for being focused on the work of government, to the services, to actually getting things done. And I am very proud to be a part of this team. I'd be happy to try to respond to any of your questions that do not deal directly with the investigation.
I guess, what kind of challenge will this be, whoever potentially we could have the fourth mayor in less than a year, just talking about trying to keep up the momentum of the city with a lot of change in the mayor's office?
you don't miss a beat. I mean, that's the way this form of government is structured. It is structured to be resilient. I know sometimes people have talked about going to a strong mayor form of government. Under a strong mayor form of government, typically all the senior staff goes when a new mayor comes in. How many senior staff have gone across all these mayors in the past year? You know, we've had 2 people with long-term employees retire. 2 department directors with long tenure have fulfilled their retirement plans. Under the manager form of government, you do not turn over the top staff so that you can maintain continuity, both in terms of day-to-day operations as well as longer-term strategic planning. And that's what we do. And we have a council that has a long tenure. Even the 5 new people are deeply experienced individuals. And just as we made the transition last year twice, I expect this to be an absolute seamless transition.
Mr. Carlee, the affidavit leads to perception that there is that pay-to-play exists. Planning and zoning have been mentioned several times. Not wanting to have you address the investigation specifically, but can you talk about that perception that perhaps there isn't an even playing field for some developers out there, that one person can pick up the phone and sway planning?
Well, as you observed, I cannot address anything as it relates to the investigation, but I can tell you it is my expectation, and it is the expectation of the senior executives in all of the departments that have anything to do with planning and development, that everybody be treated in an equitable and fair manner. And this morning, I met with all of those department directors that have any role in planning and development. And to a person, they articulated to me their commitment and expectation that this is not a pay-to-play environment, that we will deal with everybody with honesty and integrity and equity.
Do you have any concerns that these charges will affect the city's position for funding of the streetcar or influence control over the airport?
There is no reason why it should. Again, the mayor, while it is an important policy role, the office of the mayor does not have operational responsibilities for the airport or for transit. And all of the funding and planning for the airport or transit or anything else the city does can't be done by the mayor. It's done by the council. And in fact, the mayor does not even have a vote on council. The mayor has a veto that he can use, but except in protest petitions, a very rare case, the mayor doesn't even have a vote. The mayor is an important position in the city. It has a voting pulpit. It serves as a spokesperson, but it does not have operational responsibilities.
Do you feel like you have to assure the federal transportation folks of this when it comes to the streetcar as far as funding now?
Well, we've had multiple meetings with the people who run the transit programs in Washington and the airport in Washington, and mostly those meetings do not involve any elected officials. There are meetings with them by the professional staff. And the people that are responsible for transit in the federal government, they know Carolyn Flowers, our transit director. And they trust her and they understand her professionalism and integrity. Likewise, people in the Federal Aviation Administration know Brent Cagle, our aviation director, and they know his professionalism. And they know that the senior executives in our government do not serve, are not appointed by elected officials, and do not serve at the pleasure of elected officials.
You mentioned that you made a point to talk to all the employees today. What's sort of the general feeling in the building today?
I think yesterday was a more difficult day. People were shocked, disappointed, some people were angry. It ran the full range of emotions. It ran the full range of emotions with me. But I think today people are trying to get back to the business of government. We have a really, really big city to run. And our services are 24/7. We just can't let this be a distraction to us.
Are you aware of any outside?
Planning
They
meetings.
go here and then I'll go here.
What about the reputation of the city when it comes to big, large-scale tournaments and things like that? How do you think this might impact Charlotte's reputation?
But here's my favorite news alert that came over my smartphone today.
ACC.
Hmm?
ACC.
Speed Street. New name, Headline Entertainment. This is a city that has big events and big fun. And we're going to continue to have big events and great fun. I do not think anything that has happened in the last 24 hours is going to deter us from one bit from having an awesome Speed Street experience or any of these other great activities that we enjoy here in Charlotte. Not in any way whatsoever.
How big of a role did Mayor Cannon play in the ACC negotiations as well as the CIAA and just the things that have come in the last couple of months?
Literally, everything we do is a team effort. It's just not focused on one office. I know the mayor's office gets a lot of attention, but it's a team effort. For all of these big events, we have the CRVA involved, our visitors service, we have the Chamber of Commerce involved, we have our different agencies that are involved, and we're reviewing every one of these events to determine, does this make business sense for Charlotte? And again, by having multiple eyes on all of the important things that we do, builds in a significant check and balance. I can't presume what may be in some developer's mind. What I can tell any developer who's interested in this community, this is a great community for investment. And if you have a project that you want to do in Charlotte, bring it forward. We have a whole team of highly skilled professionals who will work with you to help you analyze your project, and if it's approved, to move it forward. We will provide services to anybody who wants it. If they want to open a business or they want to open a development, our doors and phones are open, and we will give everybody fair and equitable treatment because we want the business in this city.
Do you believe?
To the extent that anybody feels that way, we're going to do everything we can to ensure that there is no shadow, that there is no pall. We're moving into a really great economic cycle right now. The future for this city absolutely could not be brighter, and so we're going to be focused on the assets that we have in this community. And if you look at it honestly and objectively, you're going to find a really hard time. You're going to have a really hard time finding a better city in this country to make an investment in, or a better city to live in.
You're reading your name, city manager, in the affidavit at Patrick saying that you can contact and work with.
I don't like reading my name in any kind of affidavit, but about the only legal document I like to have in my name was my marriage license. But, again, that's part of the ongoing federal investigation. It is what it is. I read the thing in its entirety, and I'm ready to move on and focus on service. I got a budget to put together.